Hi guys, welcome back to our Pagan Opinions. Just before I start, I'd like to give a big thank you to Dawn, my sub. Because I've started my new job, I've been super busy and not had a chance to post videos, so she has covered for me the last few weeks, so I am so grateful. Thank you a lot, Dawn. It's actually funny that it's subs week next week, so she'll be posting again next week anyway. But this week's topic is the significance of dreams. So I definitely think that dreams are of great importance, and we have them for a reason. In the question, they have asked, I've got my laptop down there, but I can't see it from this distance anyway, so I don't know I'm referring to it. Sorry, I'm sick. Yeah, never mind. So they ask whether or not we think that dreams are purely psychological constructions of the mind, or whether there is something actually divine in them. And to be honest, I don't know the answer to this question. No one really does. We can only speculate. What I feel about this is I am quite happy and content if it did turn out that dreams were only psychological and there was nothing divine to it, because if it did, it would mean that everything I do under my religion of paganism is all a psychological construction. But at the end of the day, if it works, I don't mind. I don't mind if someone was to turn around and just prove that there is absolutely no divine and everything is psychological that we do, because at the end of the day it still works exactly the same. So I don't know, and I don't mind. I'm happy not knowing. But in a way I do think that it's divine, because I do feel like there's divine work in what I do, in everything that I do under paganism. So I'd like to think that it was divine, but if it's not, I'm okay with that. But why I think dreams are so important is because I think they can get messages to us that we otherwise wouldn't be able to interpret, and paying attention to what we dream is vital in understanding that, because we can get messages through that we would never be able to get in our real life. I mean, I do think when we're awake, I do think that some dreams that we have are purely what has happened. You know, like if you bring home a new bunny rabbit and then you have a dream about a bunny rabbit. You know what I mean? Sometimes it can just be because that has happened today. Sometimes, though, you may have a dream of a bunny rabbit with giant fangs that's tried to kill all your family, and it may be because you have secret fear of bunnies that you didn't know you had, or you're scared of just having a pet in general because you're scared of losing it or it dying, or, you know, there may be some other reason. But I do think some things we dream about are just because that is what's happened. If you fall asleep watching a TV programme, or you leave your TV on. I remember once when I was like quite a lot younger, I was like, I'm psychic! I'm bloody psychic! Because I'd had a dream that night of it was a town filled with children, and it was like a western town, like an old-fashioned western, and there was like young girls. Everyone was about 10, and they were like in these big fancy dresses, and then there was like 10-year-old boys looking like cowboys and barbers and bartenders and stuff like that. And I just had this dream about this town, western town of children. And then I obviously went to school, and I was like, I had this really weird dream, and then I came home and my mum was watching the 6 o'clock news, where it came on that they were doing this like experiment somewhere in America, because you in America are backwards and use children like rats. I'm joking, don't be offended. But basically it was on the news because whether it is there was some child protection laws, whether this is okay to make children do this even though they were all willing to do it and their parents had given permission. It was like, can we actually film them like 24 hours or 12 hours a day or something like that. But I was like, oh my god, I'm psychic, I dreamt that this morning. And then I realised that I'd fallen asleep with my TV on and obviously watched the 6 o'clock AM news, but I was asleep, but I'd still heard it. And as they were describing it, I'd started dreaming about it. Sorry, I've got a cold. So some things are just because that's what's happened, or that's what you hear. You know, sometimes you hear music. If you've fallen asleep with the radio and you hear music in your dream. But I do think that dreams can carry with them really important messages that without them, without paying attention to them, we wouldn't be able to get really important messages from. So I'm not making a lot of sense, am I? I'm so sorry. Anyway, there are mind exercises that you can do with dreams. First of all, if you want to start with a dream diary, some people can then hone themselves to waking up, like after they have a dream. They'll like wake up at 3 in the morning, be able to write a little doodle down of what happened and then go back to sleep, which is insane. I can't imagine being able to train myself to do that, but some people can. And then also you can go on to control your dreams, but that kind of defeats the point of dreaming, but you can like do these mind exercises to control your dreams, and then that also links in with astral projection, but that's a different topic. But I do think the stuff that you can access, it's like a free pass to your subconscious, and you need to be open to receiving those messages in order to get the most out of them. But also sleeping and dreaming you can work out anguishes and stuff that you're stressing about in your dreams, so when you wake up in the morning they're relieved and you don't carry that stress on. So dreams have a lot of different purposes. They're just easily influenced by what we've seen and what we hear at the point of dreaming or throughout your previous day. They can be stress relievers for health benefits, but then there's also, if you've had one of the dreams where you're just divinely inspired, you know there's something to that dream. So I don't know what the significance of dreams is, I just know that whatever it is very important. I'm sorry I didn't make much sense, I'm really sick. So, I'm not really sick, I'm just really pathetic because I'm sick. So I'm going to go now. I love you lots. I'm glad you've all been nice to Dawn, apart from that last video. She got lots of negatives, but that's part of the job, innit? It's an opinion show, so it's great to have the diversity. But yes, I hope you all carry on being lovely to her next week. Dawn, thank you very much, and I'll see you next week, guys. Bye. No, I won't see you next week. I'll see you the week after, because it's subs week.